Yeah.
I mean, looks gonna suck. Like the thumbnail, so we need to look so everything. Alright, can we smile? 2 seconds. What's good, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hi, I'm 𝕬𝕐𝕬. So I am here with my pencil fam. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. We can start on this side. Oh, can I'll put on. Okay, can we start here? What's your name?
Oh, wow, okay. So my name is Elijah. I'm turning 22 Friday actually.
Boom!
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my days.
No, I'm joking.
You're not joking?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
But,
can I ask, how long have you been saved?
okay, I gave my life at 12, but I really gave my life at 20.
Okay. Who's next?
Hi everyone. I'm 𝕚𝕚𝕚❑ Nice to meet you.
This is so funny, please.
I'm joking now.
I'm
𝕬𝕚𝕚❑ I'm 23. And do I answer the same question? I don't think I've been saved, but I gave my life to Christ at the age of 13.
So you don't think that you're saved?
I don't like, so being saved to me, or giving my life to Christ to me means being 100%, and at the moment I feel like I'm 80%. So to answer that question, I don't feel like I've given it, but I'm on the verge of,
on the way.
Yeah, like I'm nearly there, if it makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Hey, I'm Shem. 19 on Sunday. And when do I feel like I gave my life to Christ? I feel like I gave my life to Christ at like 16, but properly 18. So at my age now, yeah.
My name is Ella. I'm 21. That question's a bit techie because technically my life was given because my family are Roman Catholic, so I was birthed in the church. I'm in the process of fully like giving my life to Christ. So hopefully next year, fingers crossed, I'll be officially doing it and getting baptized. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Priscilla. I'm 21. When I gave my life to Christ, I was born in a Christian home, but I never had a relationship with God until 2 years ago. So I've been saved for 2 years and a half. Yeah.
I'm here with my pencil friend because I want to discuss the importance of having people around you that are of the same mind, that are of the same faith as you, that believe in the same things as you do, because it's very easy for you to, if you're around people that don't believe what you believe, when it comes down to you making a decision, more than likely they're going to push you in the way that isn't necessarily right. So can anybody give an experience of what it's like compared to having Christian friends to having people that were not saved, and whether or not it helped you to have people around you that push you in the right direction? You feel me? That's the question.
so like,
like comparison between like when you have worldly friends
and when you're
to having Christian friends, like, oh, do you see a difference in yourself when you're around people that are, you know what I'm saying, versus people that aren't?
Most positivity.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously I've had friends that weren't really on this whole be radical for God kind of thing. So it's like, it's the concept that whoever you surround yourself with will most definitely influence how you are as an individual. They will influence your morals, they'll influence your interests, they'll influence your speech, your actions, your thought process, everything about you they will influence, because you're around an activity that is being perceived as right when it's wrong. But because you're so around like you're around it so much.
Yeah.
It's like,
Seems like it's
it must be right then. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's normal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's normalized.
Yeah.
But just because it's
100%.
normalized doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
You don't understand what says is right, and that's what is actually right, not what the world says is right.
Yeah.
Because the world will be making you feel like, let me go do this, that, and the other, because everybody's doing it. But just because you're the only one that's not, doesn't mean that you're the one that's. They make you feel like you're weird. So once you find people that are of the same mind, they're not gonna make you feel weird for choosing God over everything else, because they understand why it is that you were done this way. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible speaks about how you shouldn't be unequally yoked, because it's not wise to be unequally yoked.
Doesn't work.
Because exactly, it doesn't work. Like you'll clash on a lot of different things, especially in relationships, because it's like, oh well, God says this, but I'm your boyfriend, so like, how you gonna tell me that I can't? And same way with friends, when you don't want to go out, but they're like, come on, like let's go out, but like, Rosh, I'm about this life, like I can't do what it is that you want me to do because I love God, and
definitely.
and that's what it is, isn't it?
I think there's also
Ladies first.
I think there's also this thing where even like for me, even when I was chilling with different people at one point, like something in me still knew that it was wrong.
Yeah.
Even though I was believing that it was right. So I was going out, and in my heart I'm like, oh.
Sure,
But then I'm like, okay, but I want to do this.
yeah.
But it's almost like you're forcing suppression.
Yeah.
So at any point you're going to be God's child. Like I think once you're God's child, anything you do, you have to go back to Him. So it's like through all of that, it's like God knows you're going to go back to Him. So He'll make every situation uncomfortable, until like you kind of stop. And that was me. I think I remember going to one last house party, probably in 2017. I remember being at that party. I remember standing next to one of my friends, and I was just standing at the wall. And I was just standing there. And I looked. It was like I had an out-of-body experience, and I was just like, I shouldn't be here. Like I was so uncomfortable.
I thought it was a cat there or something.
I was so uncomfortable. I was just like, I'm never coming back to a party like this again.
Yeah, I feel
the
like
party was not for me. The alcohol, people drunk,
Well, yeah.
the music,
Yeah,
the way people were dancing, the clothing, even what I was dressed at, I was just sat there. I was just like, never again. And that was legit the last time I went to a party.
I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, people need to understand that being Christian is not boring, because I feel like people perceive being Christian as boring and not being Christian as being exciting. So like every day or most times when I'm in my room or back at home, for example, and a lot of my friends want to do certain things that I can't do, or if anything I can, but it's obviously my choice. And I say no, I'd rather just stay at home or do something else, or rather go to church. They're always like, oh, you're boring. I was like, why? And then sort of explain, all you do is go to church and that's it. But I just want to emphasize on the fact that you can have fun.
Yeah.
You just need to be aware of what you're doing, because some things that you do may harm you in the future. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you know where you're going in the lifetime scenario, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Clubbing and drinking in the be or end all. Like, it's not like there's way more to do than go out and get drunk. Like,
Well, you can drink, I guess you can drink.
We're not having this conversation. You cannot drink, but we're not having this conversation.
I was going to say something, I forgot. I was going to give an example as well. I put myself in a lot of different situations in terms of like friends. So like I feel like I've got
different groups.
Yeah, like so I've got a work group, then I've got uni group, and I've got church group. And out of all of these, aside the work, I've got like my main
Squeak.
mandems, you know, or the main gangster, you feel me? You're a gangster, you're small. Sorry. Yeah, so like, I feel like in every situation that I'm in, because I sort of struggle with my identity, or rather I'm still sort of finding who I am, and I'm finding how I can actually just give everything away. It's like, for example, when I go to work, I do certain things out of the blue, and when I do them, I'm like, why did I just do that?
think one thing we should remember is that when we get to the point where our friends are almost like being a tackle or a struggle, it means that to some point they're not meant to be there. I remember especially me, like, I think one of the last times, probably the ending of last year, I was going somewhere with my old batch, and they were playing all these songs. I just didn't know them because at that point I was being very radical. And they were like, you know, your church songs people sing up here. I looked at them and I was just like, wow, like it's actually gone to that point where they're using like you being serious about your faith as something against you. And it's like you can't always carry the past into your new dimension because then you will never be in a new dimension. You'll just be in another space with the old things. So it's like sometimes it's not about deleting all your old friends. Like one of the things I had to do over the last summer was message some of my old core friends and be like, this is me now. I can't do this. I know you've been inviting me to this. I know you've been doing this. Like, I can't come to Wireless. It's not for me anymore. I can't do Carnival. It's not for me anymore. This is why I'm taking my faith seriously. And the ones that understand it, they're still here. The ones that don't,
they're gonna go Wireless next year.
Exactly.
That's faster still. I think it's very important to have people around you that build you up. You know what I'm saying? Because you can when you're around, like these I was saying, when you're around people who influence you to do, if you're not strong enough as a Christian in your faith to hang around a certain group of people, and you know that if you do, they will influence you more than you will influence them, then it's best to, not saying you have to cut them off, but distance yourself until you're able to be around them. If you go to your boy's house or your girl's house and they're gonna take shots and you know you can't say no to shots because you ain't really there yet, then don't go to the house when they're having priests, or don't, you know what I'm saying, don't be around them in those situations.
But should you put yourself in the situation regardless?
No.
Even if you know you can.
Well, I think if you know that you were strong enough and you want to hang out with them because you just want to hang out and they're doing their thing, because I've been to pre's. Like, my friend was going over her birthday and she asked me to come to pre's. I said, I'm not going to drink, but I'll come and, socialize. So I went and socialized. I had no drinks, and then I went home. They went out, I went home. So you can do that, but you have to be strong enough in your faith to be able to be like, I'm not going to. You can't convince me to, because some people, they don't, like, you say no and they're like, come on. They'll egg you until you feel like, all right, man. Like, you don't even feel like arguing no more. Like, okay, I'll take the shot. Like,
but that comes with how you say the no as well, isn't it?
Comes with what?
Sometimes when they tell you to come out, the way you say the no, you give them a sort of hope that, okay,
that maybe, that's true. So I guess you have to gauge it on yourself, because there are some instances you will have to say no, because you know that if you say yes, they're gonna assume that the next time you're gonna say yes again, and it's like, oh, I'm really trying to do this thing. There are people that I've been in a situation. I'm currently in a situation with somebody who assumes that because I used to do something, then I'm gonna do it still. And it's like, but I'm telling you that I'm a different person, so why are you making this assumption about me if I'm telling you that I'm trying to change? So those are the type of people you have to get rid of, that don't believe that you can be better, that don't want to see you be better because they want you to be stuck. Like, this Jesus life is the best thing that will happen to you. Honestly, like, God is amazing. Like, God blows my mind every day, and I'm just like, yo, you chose me. Like, he chooses us. And you just gotta have to accept that joy, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate these people right here, because it's good to have people around you where when you're feeling a certain way and you're going through a certain thing, they can encourage you with the word. They can encourage you with scripture, with biblical truth. And they as well. They can also relate to you and give you their experience and how it is that God has brought them out and what it is that they've done to further themselves. So that's why I believe it's important to have people around you. I want to read.
I feel like one thing that people don't focus too tough on is the latter. So, like, a lot of people know they need to change, but they're so invested in the now, and that's why they're afraid of the future, because they know that they invest in it. So everything or they don't know what they've subconsciously invested for them to reap tomorrow, if that makes sense. So it's like you're doing all these kind of things now, but then it's it's what happens next that you really have to
Be
deep.
worried
Okay,
about,
do you know what I mean? It's like there's a consequence for both good and bad,
Yeah.
100%.
and it's like
I don't think people think. I feel like some people believe in God or believe that okay, heaven and hell are real, but because this earth thing is so, oh my God, it's too hard. Bro, let it cool down.
Do nothing at home, fam.
Size was hiring, you know.
Nah, not doing no size, fam.
That's like medium,
That's
low
bait.
wage.
Oh, they don't get paid.
That's even bait. People go there too much, man. That's too bait. Everyone go there.
Too big for you.
Well, for everyone goes there. You go there, you see everyone. Trying to go back to the thingy, man. See no what?
hey, that's please.
I know, man.
I was talking about Bible verse, but I don't remember what I wanted to say.
You was gonna,
But I'm just
you
gonna
got a
read it
scripture.
anyway. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. It says, "Walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble." Now, the one thing that when I read this right now, the fact that it says associate with fools, you know what I'm saying? So it says walk with the wise, which means, you know, spend time with, let's take strides with the wise. When you think of an associate, right? An associate is somebody that you kind of, like, that's my acquaintance. Like, that's somebody that I kind of know, but I don't really know. So the Bible, even when it says associate with fools, it lets you know that you shouldn't even
Be in contact.
yes, I'm sorry. Okay, so the NIV says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Like, it does you more harm than good to hang out with people that are foolish. And I want to Google the word foolish because I would like to see
What verse was that?
that's the
My one,
that one's the
NIV.
NIV.
My one.
Yeah, probably
I did the
20.
20, sorry,
20.
I don't have version. My
Yeah,
bad.
that's certain.
Well, looking at the word associate, there's two synonyms that really stood out to me. One is link, and actually three. One is link, one is connect, and the other is identify. And it's like association is almost like the intentional aspect of someone willingly, willfully, consciously choosing to connect, to really get in your space and know what you're about and infiltrate, you know. And I feel like I think it's quite interesting how the writer says walk with the wise, but then he stresses on association. He could have said walk with the wise, be wise, walk with us, you know what I mean? But he said associate.
True.
And I don't know why, but I feel like that's quite interesting.
I think I was thinking about that as well. I think to walk with the wise is to constantly be aware and constantly get, like, it's like transactional, like, it's like dating.
Give and get.
Giving and getting. So as I'm walking with them, you're receiving as well as giving. So it's like always about that infilling between your godly circle. A companion with a foot really means like just to be by your side. Like a dog is a companion. It's just by your side. Meaning
they're not giving you nothing or feeding you or
that's as like it shows how toxic it can be to have someone that is not equal to you. All they have to do is stand beside you, and you already contaminated. It's like putting blue ink into water.
It's gonna get
it's contaminated.
Yeah.
So it's like the Bible emphasizes it because of how easy it is for you to be drastically changed by a fool, but how actively you have to work to become wise. And it's not even that it's hard work because it simply says walking, but you need to take the action.
That's facts though. Still, it's not even like it's hard. It's just as simple as just as simple as walking, guys. Like
But
it's really not that difficult, but we make it so much.
It takes it takes you being intentional.
Yes.
So like
Choosing.
in any aspect. I feel like one thing that I've noticed throughout the Bible is that you see all these things that God is able to do, but it always starts with your part. You know what I mean? It's like, for example, the Bible saying you're the head and not the tail. Okay, it takes you to live that reality, to exhibit,
Be practical.
to exhibit you being the head and not the tail kind of thing.
practical.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, like, but what that it says walk with them and you'll be wise. Like the more it becomes your reality, it becomes you. Like it's you as a person. Like when you start something out, it's not going to be easy. But if you're intentional, like Elijah says, like if you're intentional and you really want it to be done, it's going to become second nature to you.
You know what? You see that video that you sent to me on Instagram about how I was feeling?
Yeah.
Say, it's literally what he said as well. He said when we start, it feels like for Christians, whenever we start to pray or whenever we start to read the Bible, we start the prayer or we start the Bible, whatever it is, within 5 minutes we're thinking about, oh, I'm hungry, or I will do this, oh, how was church today, or how was this, how was that.
Yeah.
But that's just because we're not practical, we're not
really
associated with it, if it makes sense. But the more you do it, and the more, like she was also saying, we put it out there, and the more it's going to become second nature to it. So I think it's important. I struggle with that, I feel.
And I think another aspect of why people find it hard to like kind of like deviate from doing things that they shouldn't be doing is because they've done it so much now. It's in your system.
Right, second nature.
It's almost like an alcoholic saying, I'm going to stop today. But you've downloaded that. So it's like, it doesn't matter what you say, it's in your system. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't know things.
you can only exhibit what you are within you. Do you know what I mean? So even that example of prayer that you're saying, if it's like you don't execute prayer continually, you can't be prayer. Or you can't. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. And you never feel like, even when you pray short. You always feel like unaccomplished. You always feel like there's more to do.
Great example.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we went gym with Ella and Esther, and she was doing that sit up, and it was being too nice to her, and you said, nah, do 4, and you said, do 3. I was like, no, she can do 7.
Yeah.
And then what happened? She did 4, we let her off. On the next turn, she did 7, but then I said, nah, do 1 more, and she did what?
Do 1 more.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's all in the mind, and it's how much you really want it.
Want to do.
Because you know you can physically do it, or you physically can't do it, but it's all in the mind. You tell the mind what to do, the body doesn't tell the mind what to do.
Yeah.
So it's all a process and a practice that you should rather take dominion over your...
And I feel like we're too accustomed to waiting to see someone who's been there
already,
to see results.
Versus just doing it yourself.
So I mean, you could be that person that someone else could be looking at.
Yeah.
So it's like,
very clever.
yeah. Why wait on someone when that someone could be
you? That's faster still.
I think one concept that I gathered, I think it was like last year when I was sorting it out, is like it's like there's a concept, I've said it to a couple of my friends, like redefining my definition of friendship. I think it becomes to a point where you have to really think, what is a friend? Because even the Bible says one shouldn't have too many friends. There's a reason. There's a reason for that.
Carry on.
There's a reason for that, because what are all these people? All these people are an extension of you. There's even I think it's a scientific something, or I don't know. It says the 5 people you hang out with the most are the person that you are, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like,
actually.
so it's like when that thing, that scripture you brought out, it says walking the wise, companion of the fool, is like, no, being a companion of the fool doesn't even require you to do anything.
Yeah.
You could actually just be still.
And I think that verse is so crucial for like us being in uni. Like you literally will encounter anybody in uni. Like you have to be so strong-willed. Do you get what I mean? You have to be so strong-willed to find people that are like you or the person you're trying to be.
Yeah.
So I would like that one especially, because you can encounter anyone, but it's down to you as a person.
Whether or not you want to.
In Proverbs 21, verse 19, obviously it talks about. Oh, sorry.
I was wondering why your phone was up there.
No, sorry. No, because I think your point is probably.
Oh, I was going to say. It says in verse 19, it says, it's better to live alone in the desert than with a quarrelsome, complaining wife. And I know that it refers to a wife, but I feel that's do you know what I mean? I feel like you having a wife in itself is you sharing your whole life, your whole being with a companion. And it's like, it's better to be alone. Like, even the word of God says, fam, it's better to be alone than to be with a chorus of
female.
Oh,
sorry.
that was hot still.
Person, period.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
honestly.
I feel like it's very important to like check your circle all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Prune it, you know?
Your circle could be that group that in 5 years' time you'd still be having to face things. Do you know what I mean? That they input in you, or do you know, like they might lead you to places that you should have been out of, and it's like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? And it's like you might not be friends with no more, but they're moving, they're living life, and you're still stuck. Do you know what I mean?
Because of what it is that they've imparted.
Yeah, so it's like having your, like, being around the right circle is almost
crucial.
like brutally crucial.
Yeah.
Like
To your
it
Christian walk.
determines how you think, it determines how you act, alone and in company. Yeah.
Please, someone go and put it up.
You'd actually be a good-looking woman.
Yo!
I just want to call out this video.
So, Kayla, your camera's seen too much today.
Guys, I just want to say bye.
Wait, hold on.